That hurt. But that coolant just went everywhere, and my shirt's soaked. But yeah, that sucks. Pretty much, what do you use your vehicle for?
For work?
Yeah, what do you do for work?
I do delivery.
Let's say you were without a car for like a week. What would that mean to you?
Man, I would miss a whole week for work.
And I know you needed the vehicle for work, so that's why I stayed a little bit overtime just so I could get this done for you and for you don't miss any work tomorrow.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, yeah, no worries, man.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're all good to go. Today, we got a free car repair on the 1998 Ford Ecoline 250. Customer states on this one is his check engine light is on. He also mentioned something about coolant and oil mixing together in the reservoir, which I highly doubt is a blown head gasket. Since I did change out this engine about a year ago, for this repair, we have to work quick since we only have about 2 hours to work with the vehicle, mainly because the customer does use his vehicle for work, and without it, he can't make a livelihood. So let's get our customer back onto the road and let me bring the vehicle into the shop. And as per usual, we're going to be using our Innova 5610, the reliable scanner that we've been using for all of the free car repairs in this series. Let's also go into the Ford OEM Enhance. This is pretty much going to give us access to the PCM, and let's see what codes this gives us. P0401, P0402, and P1000. P1000 is a generic code that comes with every Ford. We pretty much has the same exact codes as the OBD, so let's start getting into it. Okay, so on these Ford vehicles, specifically on these vans, we got to remove the doghouse. The doghouse is being this little unit right here, and all that really holds it in is about like 4 little clips. With the clips now removed, all you gotta do is just pull it back. But we're gonna move a couple of the customer's items out the way just so they don't spill all over the place. There we go. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver, vamos a ver. I already have a pretty good idea of what's going on exactly on this vehicle. After doing some pretty quick research, the P0401 is obviously some type of issue going on within the EGR system. But what exactly is going on, right? Since I changed the engine out on this about like 30 to 40,000 miles ago. But I remember we did a whole bunch of carbon cleaning out of the EGR system since we were doing a new used engine in there. So in all honesty, I highly doubt that this check engine light is getting turned on due to carbon buildup in the EGR system. First things first, we're going to go ahead and test the EGR, make sure that it opens up properly. The way that we're going to test this out is we're going to apply vacuum directly to the EGR, meaning that the EGR is going to open, and in theory the engine should want to stall out. If the engine does end up wanting to stall out, then that's going to point us to the DPFE sensor. This right here is our handy vacuum pump. Pretty much what happens is whenever I press this trigger, vacuum gets built up on the other end, and that's how we're going to test our EGR system. This right here is our EGR, and this right here, and we take this valve off like so. Go, valves off. We have access to this, and we're gonna go ahead and slide this one back over here. Make sure it's nice and seated there. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna turn the vehicle on. We have the vehicle running now. We do have our vacuum pump hooked up to the EGR, and in theory, if I apply vacuum to it right now, the engine is gonna want to cut out. So let's see what happens. I hope that you guys can hear this and see it. Right now, the engine is running a lot rougher than before. And all we did was apply vacuum to the EGR, causing it to open up. And this is pretty much the indication that our EGR is working perfectly fine. We crossed off that there's anything wrong with the EGR just based off how rough the engine is running after we apply vacuum. And watch, as soon as I take off this hose, in theory, the vehicle should start running like normal again. So let's take this hose off and then, yeah, boom. Now that we disconnected our hand pump, our engine's running perfectly normal now. It doesn't have that rough stall issue going on anymore. We confirmed that there's nothing going on within the EGR system right there. Okay, so now what we're going to be looking at is the DPFE sensor. Okay, so now we're going to be taking off the DPFE sensor. It's going to be right there. And we're going to test its resistance. Based off of the number that we get off of the multimeter, if we get a super high number, that means that there's some type of opening within the actual sensor. All right, let's get this other bolt. Super hidden, not hidden enough. It's not that bad. This right here is our DPFE sensor. So this is our sensor right here. We're gonna go ahead and test the resistance on it, see what the resistance is at, and based off of that, that's pretty much gonna tell us if this sensor is good or not. So let's go. To confirm whether this sensor is good or bad, we're gonna do a resistance test on it. In order for us to test the resistance, we need a multimeter. So we're gonna be using the Innova 3348. This is Innova's multimeter, and this is gonna help us solve whether this sensor is any good or bad. So let's open this up real quick. Oh, nice. Comes in a case. It's pretty cool. Oh, nice. So fancy. So we're gonna go ahead and do a resistance test on it. Right now we do have the multimeter hooked up properly. So 1, 2, and 3. This is our old sensor, the sensor that originally came off the vehicle. So we're gonna put positive onto pin number 2 and then our negative on pin number 3. Okay, as you guys can see right there, we have a resistance of 60.5. So that right off the bat, that's already telling me that's like way too high, especially for sensors like this. Typically resistance ballpark for any type of sensors, anything below 15, that's good resistance. So right here, I already know this is like way off. We're gonna go ahead and do the same test on our brand new one. This is our brand new DPFE sensor. Positive on 2, negative on 3, and then boom, look at that. Right now we have a 3.9 resistance. That's a way better reading than the original sensor. So we're gonna go ahead and install this and we're gonna see what happens. So this should fix our check engine light issue, and then we'll move on to the cooling concern that the customer has. Okay, back onto our Innova 5610. We're gonna go back into OBD2, read DTCs. Okay, got the P0401 and the P0402. We're gonna hit erase and erase DCC. It's all erase, confirm. We no longer have the service engine soon on displayed on the dash anymore. All that's really left is to test drive the vehicle. We're gonna test drive it. Then we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our customer concern with the coolant mixing with the oil. Unfortunately, we did get a code back, a P1406, but the reason that we got that code, I accidentally switched the 2 vacuum lines. I switched them to the right position and then test drove the vehicle again. That code no longer reappeared. Right now, the shop currently is closed, but I know this customer does severely need his vehicle for work. I decided to stay a little bit after closing hours just so I could get this done, since he has a very tight schedule. He gets off of work at 2:30, and by the time he gets to the shop, it's already 3. It takes a while for him to get here, and that only gave me about 2 hours. Do a little bit of overtime, get this customer right. Start taking a look at this cooling issue that he has. He said that it's mixing oil, but I highly doubt it's the head gasket. As you guys can see right there, this is the coolant reservoir cap, and yeah, it does have a coolant mixture right here. It does look pretty nasty and all, but here's the thing: this engine has about 100,000 miles on it, roughly about 120,000 miles on it. It is a used engine, but he hasn't overheated it at all. And if we take a look at the oil, take a look at the dipstick, I mean, it doesn't have any type of oil and coolant mixture, nor does the oil cap. I don't see any type of coolant mixture on there. You may be asking like, oh, why do I think it's not a head gasket, right? I don't think it's a head gasket, and here's the reason. One, it hasn't overheated. He flushed the system out about a week and a half ago, and it honestly is not a crazy amount that's in here right now. Two, there's no indication of any head gasket failure within engine oil dipstick nor the oil cap. And here, I could even show you. If you take a look within the reservoir, I mean, it is really like pretty dirty. It has a good amount of oil in there. It's not like a super crazy amount where I'm like, oh wow, that gotta be the head gasket. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to lift this up. Oh, I hurt. Even the engine oil coming from the oil cooler doesn't even look milky. Oh, we're so cooked. I don't have an Allen size for this. Ugh. But that coolant just went everywhere, and my shirt's soaked. But yeah, that sucks. Okay, right here we have our old oil cooler that was on the vehicle. If you take a close look into there, it's really hard to tell on camera, but right there is coolant and oil mixture. So in between the fins, that's where the oil gets cooled down. But what had happened was, yeah, somewhere inside one of the fins cracked and it started leaking into the coolant. I could actually see a damaged fin in here. Yeah, there's a damaged fin right there where the arrow is at, right in the middle. That's a little damaged fin right there. So that was our point of failure, causing the oil and coolant mixture. So this is a brand new one straight from the dealership. Nobody else had it. Luckily, I was able to pick one up from the dealer before they closed down, and luckily they had it in stock. So yeah, this is our old oil cooler and our brand new one. We're gonna go ahead and re-tighten everything up, and we're gonna flush the system out. Let's do it. Like that. Let's go away. That's 2.
Boom. Boom.
All right, so all there's really left is to refill the cooling system, bleed it, and that's about it. We're gonna use some Presto and Total Cooling System Cleaner. What we're gonna go ahead and do, since I mean it's really late for me, it's about hit 8 p.m. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to clean out this reservoir. Plus, nobody had it for today or tomorrow. It's a special order. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're not gonna do a full cooling system flush. I'm gonna put in this cleaner for the customer. He's gonna drive it for about 2 to 3 days until I receive the reservoir. Then we'll do another cooling flush. Unfortunately, he can't leave it. I mean, he needs it for work, and it's completely understandable, you know? So I'm just glad I was able to compromise with him. I stayed a little bit of extra overtime just so I could get this done just for the customer, you know? The customer always comes first. But in all seriousness, you know, he's a long-time customer. Yeah, I known him for a while now. I mean, I did the engine for him a long time ago. If he's willing to pay me for an engine, then I should be willing to stay a little bit longer one day just for he to be able to go to work. Let's start topping this off. So the customer's gonna drive it for the next couple of days just for he could get the cleaner all throughout the cooling system. We're gonna be lucky enough to bless him with this free car repair today. So go ahead and call the customer so he could pick up his vehicle. When the vehicle first came in, you had the check engine light going on. You also had, coolant and oil mixing together. So we went ahead and fixed the coolant and oil mixing together. Pretty much all that was the oil cooler. Pretty much got damaged internally, causing it to leak into the system. For the check engine light, all it was a sensor. The sensor wasn't reading properly. So we went ahead and replaced it. I test drove the vehicle for about 10 miles. The check engine light no longer turned on, right? Parts and labor all together for today, it came out to be $708.27. But I do have some good news. I do a little bit of YouTube, and I do have a sponsor for this video called Innova. And pretty much what they're doing is I get to pick one random customer and they get a free car repair.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, you pretty much don't owe me anything at all today. The repair was completely free.
$3.99.
$3.99. Yeah.
$3.99.
$3.99.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
worries. And then I also have a gift for you. I have the Innova 5610. This is the exact same scanner that I use to diagnose your vehicle. Yeah, this is yours as well. Yeah, you're pretty much all good to go. Scanner's yours. That's the exact same scanner that I use to diagnose everything that's wrong with your vehicle. For whatever reason, if the check engine light turns back on, you can scan it, give me a call, and then I could let you know more or less what you're looking at. Pretty much, what do you use your vehicle for?
For work?
Yeah, what do you do for work?
I do delivery.
Let's say you were without a car for a week. What would that mean to you?
Man, I would miss a whole week of work. Man,
Yeah.
that would suck, you know?
Yeah, that would suck. I know you needed the vehicle for work, so that's why I stayed a little bit overtime just so I could get this done for you and where you don't miss any work tomorrow.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, yeah,
Thank
no
you.
worries, man.
All right.
All right, yep.
Thank you.
You're all good to go. It is super late. It is super late right now. So I gotta go home. It's about to be 9. It's 8:30. It's 8:30 p.m. I gotta go home. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta edit this video. So once again, thank you to the sponsor of this video, Innova. If you guys want to check out all of our other Innova videos, all of the links will be in the description of this video. Go ahead and check them out. It really supports me making sponsored content and give back to the community. Sorry if this outro feels a little bit rushed, but I need to get home. So thanks for watching. Bye.